It's Scooby-Doo time!
Wait, hold on, look. See? I even have a shirt on to prove it. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another tier list. That's right. It's time to do another one. I've done several tier lists in the past. Supernatural, FNAF, Steven Universe, Danganronpa, and now it's time to do one of my other autism special interests, and that is Scooby-Doo. And you might be asking, well, Ryan, what are you ranking? Unless you read the title, and I'm ranking the OG monsters of Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? The original TV show released, before it started to release in 1969, I'm taking a look at all those monsters and I'm ranking them, baby. It's time. And also, I am going to be ranking the seasons 1 and 2 and 3. And if you're going, wait a minute, there are only 2 seasons. Shut the fuck up. There are 3 seasons. I have the DVD for it. Okay. Technically, the 3rd season of Where Are You was meant to be like a revival of Where Are You, and it was like released in like the Laugh Olympics block or whatever, and on streaming platforms it's under like the Scooby-Doo show as like the 3rd and sometimes part of the 2nd season. But it was repackaged. It was meant to be season 3 according to the printers of the DVDs. So that's what we're going to be doing. So I'm going to be scrolling through these at random and I'm going to be ranking them. Let's get started. I'm picking these at random and I couldn't have picked like the most boring one to start. That's not true. Spoiler. This is just the Phantom. This is the boring ghost. Like, this is a ghost that exists in the Scooby-Doo universe, but it's not that interesting. It's from the, I think it might be the 2nd episode of Where Are You, season 1. And it's just kind of a ghost. It's like fine. It's permissible, but I think ultimately, because it's like not that interesting, I am going to go ahead and put this in C tier. All right, here we have the Ghost of Hyde, which I think is a fairly decent Scooby-Doo monster. I don't think he's like that interesting. He's kind of just another green guy. And I don't think he's the most interesting of the green guys, but I will put him in B tier, I suppose. All right, we got the Snow Beast, and I believe this is from the 3rd season. So this would have been released in 1978, I believe, which is almost 10 years later than the original series started to premiere. But I think the Snow Beast is a fun design because it's like a T-Rex dinosaur, but it's fucking Snow Guy. And I think it's cool. I don't think it's like that special, but I do think it probably deserves A tier. We have the Moon Monster. This is also from the 3rd season. I don't think the Moon Monster is that interesting. With the show's track history, I was expecting this episode to be much more racist, because I did go back and rewatch all of these episodes. Some of them a little bit ago, so I may have forgotten some of the plot details, but I thought this episode would be more racist given the track history of Scooby-Doo, and it surprisingly wasn't that bad. The Moon Monster, though, he's kind of just like a blue guy. I'll put him in B tier, though. Alright, let's go ahead and get this little guy out of the way. This is the Puppet Master. Gonna be honest, I don't care that much about the Puppet Master. He's not even like the interesting part. I mean, he controls puppets, so I guess in that like sense of the matter, he's interesting, but ultimately I kind of think he's like a D tier monster because he's just some guy in a cape, and that's about it. But I will go ahead and rank some of his puppets. So we got the Viking puppet and we have the pirate puppet, both of which I think are better than the Puppet Master himself. I don't think they're that interesting. They're kind of generic, but I will go ahead and put them in, I think, C tier. All right, we got the Mummy of Anka or Ankh. I don't remember how it's said. This is just some mummy that they put, and like it's not terrible, but it is at the end of the day just like the classic stereotypical mummy design. And I don't know, I think he can be in B tier, but he's nothing too special. Don't get it messed up in your head, okay? Here's the Beast of Bottomless. Here's the Beast of Bottomless Lake. This is another season 3er, and I think his design's kind of fun. I'm gonna be honest, I actually think it's weird that he has these like rags on his arms, and they stay there the whole time. But I like that like his face is just like scrunched down onto his like shoulder, like chest, torso area. I don't know, I think it's kind of a fun design, but I don't think it's that special. But I do think it probably deserves B tier at least. Oh boy, here we are, the Witch Doctor. Now this isn't even the only Witch Doctor. However, I made a special tier just for these fellas, and they get to go in the racist tier because it's just, you know, something about it just doesn't really scream very good. And I don't you know, I understand when the show was made, when it was released, but it's still racist, and so it goes in the racist tier. And now you can't have that Witch Doctor without Mono Tiki Tia, which is like the basically giant statue thing. I don't know if it's, I don't remember if it's like a god or something, but this is Mono Tiki Tia, and he's in the same episode as the Witch Doctor. I think probably less, admittedly less racist than the Witch Doctor. However, I don't know if you get to like escape racism. I mean, ultimately it's the same guy, right? It's the same guy playing the Witch Doctor and Mono Tiki Tia. So does that mean you're racist? These are the philosophical questions we ask over at the Scooby-Doo fandom. I feel like I'm gonna try and rank it like as its own thing, and I think I'll probably put you in B tier. I'll say C tier. Ooh, now this is like one of the classics. If you're at all into Scooby-Doo, you probably know the Creeper. The Creeper, not from Minecraft, has shown up in several Scooby-Doo projects, not just in his original release. However, ultimately, it is just another green guy. But I think that realistically, the Creeper is the most iconic green guy, most memorable green guy of Scooby-Doo. So I am going to go ahead and put the Creeper in A tier. Hey everyone watching this video right now, I need you to know one thing. The Space Kook, one of my favorite monster designs in all of Scooby-Doo to ever exist. Space Kook has to go in S tier for me. I think the design is just so fun. It's like this blue, like spacesuit type of thing with like the blue skull, glowing eyes, like red glowing like hood thingy. And also, I really like the Space Kook's laugh. I think he's just a really iconic, memorable monster, and the Space Kook is gonna be my first S tier of the video. Ooh, the Jaguaro. I don't know if it's just me, but the Jaguaro has to be somehow one of my most watched, like rewatched episodes of Scooby-Doo ever. And I, of course, rewatched it for this video, and I fucking burst out laughing because I forgot the scream that the Jaguaro has. It just sounds like some guy screaming, and I think that's hilarious. And I want the Jaguaro to be memorized. The episode itself, but the Jaguaro, however, I think is a cool character. It's like this fucking like monkey ape body with a panther head, and he's gigantic, and I love him, and I think he's undoubtedly A tier for me. However, within the same episode, you have the headhunters, and I'm taking, when I was compiling the list of like monsters, I went into like a website that lists like all these like all the villains per episode and whatever. Like there are secondary like monsters slash villains in the Scooby-Doo franchise, and these, let me be clear, okay? This is a very fucking racist depiction of native people. I think they land in like Brazil or something like that, and there are these natives that they call the headhunters because supposedly they hunt and kill people. Yeah, this is the, yeah, racist. The Ghost of Elias Kingston, kind of a forgettable one. I think pretty memorable, but that's because it's just from the original series. I don't, like, if you asked me who this fucker was, I would not have been able to tell you, oh yeah, that's Elias Kingston. No. I would have told you, like, he's the Manor Ghost or whatever. But, like, he's memorable, but I do think he's probably gonna go in C tier. Alright, let's go ahead and look at the Headless Spectre. Not the Headless Horseman. He does not ride a horse. Do not believe that for 1 second. This is the Headless Spectre. He's just kind of there, without a head, and he holds a little candle sometimes. I think he's interesting, but I don't think he's that interesting. I think, honestly, another C tier, because like it's just taking the Headless Horseman and getting rid of the horse, so it's not that special. Now, from the same episode, you actually have two more things that I decided to put on here that some wikis consider to also be monsters. There's the Phony Phantom. He's just a guy, I believe the same guy that wears this like fucking Walmart tablecloth ghost costume. And there's also this balloon ghost that comes out of the well, and it's just a sheet draped over a balloon. These definitely are not very good. I think they're funny. I think they're kind of funny because it's just like, what are you doing, man? But I think Phony Phantom will go in D tier. And honestly, I hate to say it, but I think Balloon Ghost has to be the first F tier because it's not even a real person like behind it. It's just a sheet with a balloon, and I don't want to give a balloon that much credit. Speaking of balloons, here's the Willowa. This is from the 3rd season. This is just a balloon ultimately. I don't think this is that creative of a monster. It's just a big owl. It is based off of an actual, I believe, speculation. I believe it is based off of an actual Native American word or myth, which is the Willywaw. I don't know if that's how you would pronounce it, but instead of the middle A, it would be an I. So it is like kind of based on something, but ultimately this is just a big owl that's a balloon. Well, actually, I think there might be someone in it. I don't remember. It's like a boated balloon or something. I think the Willywaw is probably C tier again. And you might find this surprising, but there's actually these owl men in the episode too, and I actually think that the owl men are more interesting than the Willywaw itself, just because, I don't know, I think like anthropomorphized like owl creatures kind of more scary. They don't do a whole lot in the episode, but I do like their design more than the Willywaw, so I'm gonna put them in B tier, but they probably would stay low B tier. If you remember who this is, congratulations, this is Anthos. He's from the Warlock of Wimbledon episode in the 3rd season. I find this guy absolutely hilarious because he doesn't really fucking do anything threatening. I think he chases them maybe once, maybe twice. The staff that he has, he's like, this is a curse and it will follow you. So he's playing a prank on this guy that looks like fucking Jeffrey Dahmer. And he just keeps giving him the staff like, the curse will follow you forever or something like that. So he himself doesn't really do anything. He's just like, have this staff, it's cursed. I think he's funny, but I ultimately think that Anthos is a D tier monster. I think he's funny, but that doesn't mean he's good. And he has a sidekick called the Devil Hound. Basically just looks like evil Scooby-Doo a little bit. The Devil Hound doesn't really do anything that Anthos does, so I am gonna keep them together in D tier, I think. Here's our second snow beast of the video, except this isn't the snow beast, it's the snow ghost. Get it fucking right. I think the snow ghost is a fun design. I find something very compelling about him just being like this big guy. I like that he has like a big round chin some of the times. And so I like him quite a lot. I'm gonna put him in A tier. I think Snow Ghost is pretty cool. I think it's time for me to get these guys out of the way. We got Dracula, and these are all from the same episode. It's just an episode with a bunch of characters in them. We have the werewolf, and there are actually 2 werewolves in the first season, or the first 2 seasons. We have Frankenstein. So Dracula, werewolf, Frankenstein, and ultimately the fortune teller. I think they're okay. I gotta be honest with you. Drac and Frankenstein, kind of forgettable to me. The werewolf is more memorable, and I think this werewolf gets to go in A tier. The fortune teller, I think, gets to go in B tier, because I think the fortune teller is like a iconic little lady. Frankenstein, just a big stumbly guy. He is ultimately, dare I say it, just a green guy. So I'm gonna put Frankenstein in C tier, and Dracula I'm also gonna put in C tier because I don't remember him that much from the episode. He's just kind of forgettable. It's Dracula. He should be memorable, but he's not, so he goes in C tier. Here we have the Loch Ness Monster. Now, they did eventually do a movie around the Loch Ness Monster. This came first. This is the Loch Ness Monster. This is just an animatronic. There's no one really in this, I don't think. I don't know, I kind of like that. I kind of like the Loch Ness Monster. I think I want to put Loch Ness Monster in B tier. And there's a scene where he's like blowing hot air into Shaggy's room while he's sleeping, and I think that's fun. And here's the ghost of Finian McDuff. This guy, I think, is fucking hilarious. Tell me this doesn't look like some fucking rotoscoped in guy. I don't know what it is about him, but that's what he looks like to me, and I think is hilarious. He doesn't look like he should be there, yet he is. Honestly, I don't think he does a whole lot. I don't even think the episode's that good, but Finian McDuff is going to go in B tier alongside the Loch Ness Monster. We have the Skeleton Men. This is from the 3rd season. The Skeleton Men I absolutely love. They're one of my favorite designs. I see the Skeleton Men here, and I can't help but think of the James Gunn Scooby-Doo 2 movie, and the Skeleton Men in that. Based off of these guys, I'm pretty sure, but this is a suit. Those are real skeletons. And I really like these Skeleton Men. I think just having one-eyed skeleton guys is so cool, and I love them, and they're going in A tier. All right, Redbeard, it's time for the pirate man himself. And I do believe, if I say, I think Redbeard is probably one of the more iconic Scooby-Doo villains. I don't personally like him that much, I just don't think like he's my favorite of all time. However, it's a pirate and it's a fun episode, so I am going to put Redbeard into A tier as well. I think he deserves that. And I also went ahead and put on Redbeard's crew. They're just pirate crew members. They're just guys. Guys being guys. Guys being undead pirates. And ultimately they're not that memorable, so I'm gonna go ahead and put them in D tier because they're just henchmen. They're just minions. They don't do anything special themselves, really. All right, we have the Wax Phantom. If you know who this is, I'd actually be a little bit, I mean, I wouldn't be that surprised, but I do think that the Wax Phantom is kind of a slept on monster from like the original series. I don't see him referenced that often, but I think that he's pretty damn cool. I honestly kind of feel like this was a precursor to the Tar Monster in a way. I just like his design. I like that he's like a big, like kind of like a homunculus, like made out of like this just fucking kind of melty wax. And I think he's A tier as well. We're getting some good ones up in here, but I think this is where he deserves to be ultimately. All right, here's the second witch doctor of the video. And once again, I'm sorry, but I'm not actually. I take that back. I revoke my apology. Witch Doctor, you are going to go in the racist tier. Both of the Witch Doctor monsters are very iconic, but that's not necessarily a good thing. It just means they're memorizable and their like design is like, you look at it and you're like, oh yeah, that's a design that is like stuck in my head sometimes, but it doesn't excuse them from being racist. So sadly, not sadly, the Witch Doctor is going to go, this Witch Doctor is also going to go in the racist tier. It's weird because like the Witch Doctors, I think more this one are brought back for like other things. Oddly enough, in the direct-to-TV live-action movie, which one is it? I think it's the second one, Curse of the Lake Monster. This guy has a cameo in it, and I'm just like, why are we bringing back the racist one? You could have used any of these, but you brought back this one? We also have the Ghost of Geronimo, and once again, this is going to go in racist tier. Also, Mike. You know Mike? Y'all know Mike. Of course you know Mike. Mike is from the same episode as Geronimo and Witch Doctor. It's like the dog napper episode. Do you remember who Mike is? Be honest with me here. Do you remember who Mike is? I didn't, and I rewatched this shit. But he's got categorized as a villain, so I'm gonna put him in F tier because it's just a fucking guy. I think it's time to bring out some big guns. We got the Tar Monster. And I think the Tar Monster is absolutely S tier. I cannot deny this fact. I think the Tar Monster is iconic. I love just the one green eye, the red mouth, the gloopy gloops that he got going on. It's also kind of a fun episode, and they bring him back several times. He's in Cyber Chase, he's in James Gunn Scooby-Doo 2, so they love the Tar Monster. I love the Tar Monster. He going S tier. Alright, here's the Disc Demon. He's also like kind of officially referred to as the Phantom. We already have the Phantom. He's right here in C tier. And so the Disc Demon is kind of just, I think, one of the goofiest renditions of a monster they've done. Like, his arms are weirdly like noodly and proportioned. His face is like, oh, to me, that's what the vibes that I'm getting from this fucker. I'm assuming maybe based on Kiss. Kind of interesting. I think the design is fun. He has like a real gravelly voice or something, and he just kind of is like, I will fucking follow you or something like that. He's not that interesting of a monster in terms of like what he does, what his actions are, what he's capable of. He's just a guy in like glam rock makeup. But I think his goofy factor does bring him up to a B tier for me. Oh, I forgot. When I did Elias Kingston, I meant to do the bulldog, because the bulldog is also listed as like a monster. But this is just a dog. Again, I don't really remember the episode, full transparency, but I think he's just kind of like lightly antagonistic. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put the bulldog in D tier. Let's go ahead and do the mantis creature. This is also from season 3. I think the mantis creature is a really fun design. I gotta be honest, the reveal in this episode is kind of fun too. It's obvious who's behind the mask, but I think that it's really funny because like you have like the 3 main like suspect characters, and they're like, Fred is like, I bet it's this guy, and then like the guy just fucking crawls out of like the fucking clock, is like, it's not me. It's like, what? I think I will put Mantis in B. And honestly, the reason I'm putting Mantis in B is because there's another creature that I'm going to put in A, and that creature is the cat creature. Kind of a green guy, all right, kind of, but it's a cat man. And I really like this because number one, it's fun because it's a cat creature and that burgles. It's a cat burglar. Do you get it? Well, do ya? Okay, good. So I really like the cat creature because it's a fun concept. It's kind of like a werewolf thing where Daphne's aunt or something is like, I'm getting hypnotized to turn into the cat creature. You gotta help me. I'm stealing precious jewels. And it's not actually Daphne's aunt or whatever. But like, I think it's a fun episode, and I think the cat creature is very memorable, and the cat creature is going to go in A tier. Alright, so this is the ghost of Melissa Wilcox. Surprisingly, this is an episode that takes place in Salem. She is a witch of Salem, which doesn't even happen in the movie Witch's Ghost, because it's not Salem for some reason. But Melissa Wilcox, I think, is a fun design. But you know what's weird about this? This is the twin sister of like the damsel in distress of the episode. And she doesn't even get unmasked. Like, they don't take off the hat, they don't take off the green hair, they don't take off the makeup or anything. So I'm just kind of led to believe this is what that girl's twin sister looks like naturally. But ultimately, I do think this is a fun design, and I am going to put you in B tier as well. Alright, the Black Knight, of course. I believe this is the first ever episode of Scooby-Doo. I mean, that alone is like big status, right? I don't think the Black Knight is all that interesting. Again, I believe the Black Knight is brought back several times, including in James Gunn live action. But I don't know. I don't think he's that like visually interesting. So I don't know if I super love the Black Knight. I mean, I'm going to have to rearrange things, but I do think for now I'm going to put the Black Knight in B tier. All right, here's the Ape Man. It's like Don't Go Ape Man on the Ape Man is the episode name or something. This is basically just like, let's get a gorilla and make that the monster. Oh, okay. I don't think it's that interesting. I think it's kind of a fun concept, but really, like, this design is just a gorilla basically, and so I don't think you're that special. I think you're honestly C tier, Ape Man. I'm sorry. This is the Ghostly Gondolier. This is from season 3. I would like to question whoever made Cyber Chase and ask them if the Ghostly Gondolier was inspiration to some degree, because this is the first time, to my knowledge, that Scooby-Doo has done a face like this, and like it's very fun in how it's animated and stylized and whatever. I think it's a fun episode. I think the ghostly gondolier is very fun. He's like, yes, I'm going to steal the precious jewels. Or whatever, because look, he's got his jewels. He steals like an amulet or whatever or something. I think you're probably B tier, which means I'm gonna move down the Black Knight. Ooh. All right, let's just go ahead and get it out of the way. The ghost of Captain Cutler. Absolutely fucking iconic monster. I wonder if I should put Captain Cutler in S tier. I think that I should. I think in reality Cutler's maybe A tier for me. But I do believe I like him enough to go in S tier. Alright, here's the ghost of Zentuo. I don't know, it's this guy after a mask. I don't really care about Zentuo, because Zentuo is barely in the episode from what I remember, so you're gonna go in D tier, and your scare pair, aka the zombies, is actually potentially gonna go in C tier, because I think they're cooler, and I like that they doubled them up. So I'm gonna put them in C tier, I think. Alright, the werewolf ghost of Silas Long. This is the second werewolf. I don't think I like this one as much. I always thought it was weird that he had green fur. Why you got green fur, bro? You have brown hair, so why your fur green? I just don't get it. I don't think you're as memorable as the other werewolf. I think, honestly, I think I'd probably also put you in C tier. Oh, old Iron Face. This might be one of the most iconic monsters to come from the 3rd season. And I think that Iron Face is gonna go in S tier for me. Again, another monster they've brought back on countless occasions, I think because they know how iconic Iron Face is and how cool. I also like that Iron Face is a woman, or at least the person behind the mask is a woman. I don't know. I just like for me that like really sticks out in my brain. I'm like, yeah, badass woman. All right, we got the witch. The witch is, you might be like, who? Exactly. But more importantly, the witch is from the episode with zombie. You know, this guy. I don't think either of them are that special. The witch especially, I don't fucking care about at all. The witch can go in D tier. Certainly no Melissa Wilcox, all right? You're just kind of blue and generic. And the zombie is yet another green guy. Man, I don't know what it is with Scooby-Doo and these fellas. I think zombie should go in C tier, but I need to make C tier shorter. Phantom, go down. You're the most generic ghost I've ever seen. Elias Kingston, you go down. Headless Spectre, you go down. Silas, go ahead and scooch in here. Zombie, you're gonna go ahead and get in here. Here's the caveman. I like this episode because it's one that feels like it's a real thing. I don't know. I think it's interesting. I don't think it's like that intimidating, but I do think it's fun, and I would probably put the caveman in B tier. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move the mummy down. All right, this is the ghost of Juan Carlos. I believe he's meant to be like a Spanish conquistador, but that's just a fucking guy. And when your monster is just a guy, I don't care. Honestly, I'm gonna put you in F tier. Charlie the robot. If you look at this and your first thought is, oh, that's like the guy from the Scooby-Doo Where Are You intro thing. Yeah, that's why I think of him mostly, but I do really like Charlie. I don't remember, is Charlie actually just a robot? I think Charlie's actually just a robot. I mean, someone is behind like his malfunctioning, but Charlie is, I believe, going to be A tier. Minor 49er, another iconic one. Gotta be honest with you though, I don't think he's that interesting. The name, iconic. Miner, 49er. I mean, fuck yeah. But the guy himself is just a guy with a beard. It's just a guy with a beard. I think I would probably put Miner 49er in C tier. If he was a little bit cooler in the design department, I would be happy. And we're gonna take a look at the green ghosts. Now, when you say Scooby-Doo ghost, I think this is probably what you think of as these guys. They have reused this several times. The design, even as new iterations, new like characters completely, but just recolors. Yes, that's real. Look it up. Like this is the Scooby-Doo ghost, phantom, whatever that I think of, and I really like their like drapey, long, open mouth. It kind of reminds me of the Scream mask a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and put the green ghosts or the phantom shadows in A tier as well. And I believe last but certainly not least, we have the ghost clown. Everyone knows the ghost clown. This is again probably one of the most iconic, memorable, recognizable Scooby-Doo monsters. I mean, I think it's fun. It's like a circus episode. I don't think Ghost Clown gets to be quite S tier for me, mostly because it is just like a clown that's red. Like everything about him is red and orange basically. But I do think that Ghost Clown definitely gets to be A tier. All right, now I'm gonna spend some time and move these all around, like arrange them within the tiers themselves, and I'll be back. All right, I think I've finally like compiled this into a way where I'm happy with it. I think generally this is the rank with which I would go. So I think I did a fairly good job. Again, this is definitely subjective opinion. So I apologize if like your favorite is, oh, I don't know, the bulldog, and you would have put the bulldog in S tier. That's just not what I would have done personally. So my list: top 4, Space Kook, Tar Monster, Iron Face, Captain Cutler, in that order. Skeleton Men, Jaguaro, Cat Creature, Charlie Robot, Ghost Clown, Snow Ghost, The Green Ghost, Snow Beast, Wax Phantom, Redbeard, The Creeper, and then Werewolf. Mantis Creature, Fortune Teller, Ghostly Gondolier, Disc Demon, Melissa Wilcox, Loch Ness Monster, Finian McDuff, Owlman, The Beast of Bottomless Lake, Moon Monster, Caveman Hyde, Black Knight, Miner 49er, Willowa, The Scare Pair, Monotikitia, Silas Long, Zombie, Viking Puppet, Pirate Puppet, Frankenstein, Dracula, Ape Man, Phantom, Mummy, Headless Spectre, Elias Kingston, Zentuo, Anthos, Devil Hound, Witch, Puppet Master, Redbeard's Crew, Phony Phantom, Bulldog, F Tier, Balloon Ghost, The Ghost of Juan Carlos, Mike, and then Racist, Witch Doctor, Ghost of Geronimo, and the Headhunters. And I gotta be honest with you folks, anyone else up in here could be racist, okay? I'm not saying that because I didn't put them in racist tier that they're not racist, okay? I'm not saying that. I just don't remember if they're racist or not. So if they are, apologies. Like, I feel like Zentuo or the Scare Pair could have had really bad racist accents. I don't remember though. I kind of ranked these guys based on like how iconic they are, but also like the Creeper is probably one of the more iconic Scooby-Doo monsters, but I put him down here at the bottom of A tier just because I don't think his design's as interesting as some of the others because he's just like a green guy. I think the Skeleton Men, the Jaguaro, Iron Face, Tar Monster, Space Kook, they all like their designs are much more detailed, and not even necessarily detailed. They're just like more interesting than a guy with bad posture that has green skin and brown hair and some kind of fucking coat. And also like some of them were based on like my memory of like the episode. Space Kook, Iron Face, I love the episodes. Jaguaro, the scream is so funny to me. Cat Creature, I love the episode. It's a really fun one. Charlie, iconic because of the intro for me. The Disc Demon, because he's just kind of goofy looking in the episode. So, like, a lot of different factors went into this. I'm sorry if you don't like it. It's my opinion. I'm right. But, I mean, I guess if you disagree, you can let me know in the comments below kindly. Okay? Kindly. Thanks for watching this tier list video. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye. Or should I end it like a Scooby-Doo episode? Ruby, Ruby, Roo! Or something like that. Sorry, my Scooby impression isn't that good. Honestly, now that I did that, I'm really embarrassed. I think I might just leave, actually. Sorry.